ho, and welcome to day 15. We are more than halfway through to Christmas. Today we're going to talk about another machine learning day. This is a blue team machine learning, or blue room for machine learning, which basically means that we're going to do some defensive stuff. Now, I think this room is kind of fun actually when it comes to machine learning, so I'm going to go more in depth talking about this. First of all, I'm going to talk about how to solve the room, how to get the flags, and how to write some code in Python or in Jupyter in order to get the right answers. Then I'm going to talk about what I think about it and how I should probably use it in the industry and so on. First of all, I'd like to say that a few of the answers is in the text. You should definitely go ahead and read that. The answer we're going to talk about is definitely the one called, what is the key first step? That is, of course, always data collection, because without data collection, you have no way to analyze your data, no way to train it, so basically you need to collect your data. The data processing feature used to create new features and modify existing ones to improve model performance is called feature engineering. Now that are things we can read in the text. And the third one here you can also read in the text after the split and so on, yada yada. You know, read the text, just up here in the top. You will read that the weighted score is 0.98 in the average, and that is gonna be the answer for this particular question. Now, the next questions, I need to execute the code on the right side. This is the attack box or the dedicated machine for the room you need to run, because we cannot download these files. I guess there is a way for us in the top to SSH directly into the machine. Usually there are something like that. In this particular case, it doesn't seem like they provided that solution or possibility this time. Anyways, go ahead and go through the different kind of steps, like what is the importing, the libraries, the data collection, step number 1. So that's of course a step 0, but it doesn't really count that as an actual step. And the other steps, so on, go read that. You know, after you go to the very first spam detector part here in the top, just basically go through it and click on the play button, put it right there, you know, click on, if it's not marked in the top, just press play and so on. It's gonna go through it all, import the data, and whenever there's something like print, you're gonna get some result. The head is gonna print the data, or the head of the data from the CSV file. And then so on, you're gonna go through different kind of steps. At some point, you will get some results where you can actually train and split the data, which is happening right here. And you can see that it talks about, you know, how it's trained and so on. When you go down a bit more, you're gonna go to model evaluation, where you're gonna go to the part you already saw here. So we are really close to actually getting some results now. Then we're gonna test it, and it looks like you just do one test and it says this email is spam, so it seems like it kind of works. So we are building, and I guess you already know that, it also in the top, we are building a machine learning script to detect spam emails. So phishing email, weird emails spamming us with different kind of things. This is what this particular trained model should be able to detect. The way it's trained is by using this particular data set over here, which I'm gonna go back to just in a minute. After this, you will get to the part where you will see the result of this, which is going to give you a question, and the question will be how many of the test emails are marked as spam. And you can see down here 1, 2, 3. You can basically see the same here in the top, but you know, this is the way it is. You could also go ahead and write a script to loop through it all if that is what you would like to do. I think in this particular case, I'm going to talk about this afterwards. I'm going to go through the answer. Should just count 3. The email we detected, one of the emails we detected, so I have 3 emails, right, contains a secret code. Now, you can go ahead and open the test emails and read through it all. Just open it a bit. And the very first thing you will see in the end of one of them is email number 6 or 5 in the index. The secret code is, which is also the code right there. You cannot copy paste from this. So the way you need to do that is, at least I couldn't. Maybe this is copy pasting, not really sure. Okay, so you can actually do that in the code right there. But the way that I solved it is pretty easy. I just went in and created a new line by pressing the plus. So I put the cursor right there, and I just added one new cell. And in the end, I wrote the code, print test data messages, and then I accessed the multi-dimensional array and set the 5th position. The 5th position because the email test is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but when you count in the computer, it says 0, 1, 2, and then to 5. So it's called the 5th position of the index number 5 because 0 is also a part of the number in a computer. You just print that out. Alright, so that's really how you solve it, and then you're going to get the text, you can mark it, and boom, you're done. So, we still don't know how the code works, we still don't know how this Python code is constructed. That is not something we are taught in this room. We just taught that this is something you can do without a lot of hassle, and you can probably take this code and somewhat create your own data set, and I'm going to talk about this now. So we solved the room. I'm going to talk about more in depth now about different kind of things. So the email data set this is trained on is a data set that is of at least 4,500 mails. Stop this. So 4,500 emails already classified as spam or ham. Yeah, it could be good or bad, false or true, doesn't really matter. So basically the prediction is going to be spam or ham, which is a classification identifier. So this is what this is trained on. It's got a very high percentage on the actual model to detect different kind of spam emails here. Then we're going to give it this one here, and of course this is constructed to work in a certain way. So if we hit some sort of email and we type if we type our own email in this data set here, we could probably, by going through different iterations and tests, find a loophole where it's going to go through. And that is the way machine learning works. You can never get a bulletproof, 100% always find. The predictions you get here is not for everything. The predictions you get is for what you train with. So this is what you guess you're gonna find, This is what you train it to see. This is spam, this is not spam. So at the end of the day, a clever attacker can generate and formulate an email with different kind of parts that are gonna pass the test through the machine learning model. Not gonna be marked as spam, gonna be marked as ham. And we can of course then retrain the model and keep bettering ourselves. And that is the future of machine learning, is to keep bettering ourselves all the way through. So basically, just gonna say that this is great, but it also takes a lot of machine power to run through these different kind of algorithms every time you find an email you need to check. So the idea about this is if you can put these algorithms, that check the email if it's spam or not, on the client machine receiving the email, you will remove some of the stress from the server. But then again, the email will be sent to the client. So that is probably not what you want to do. What you would like to do is when the email hits the server that's going to distribute the emails to the clients, well then you say, no, I'm not going to distribute this email to the client because this is spam. So the server itself needs to be big and powerful, and that is the dark side of machine learning. It just takes a lot of power to run all these kind of things, which is why it can be an expensive task to run. Alright, now let's go ahead and maybe look at this code for just a bit more, because you maybe think, what if you like to count these things? Well, you can go ahead and sort it by prediction instead, right? And then you say, instead of just saying the multidimensional array number 5, we just take all of them, if that is possible, and we can take it in prediction. Well, it does say that we cannot do that, which is of course a bit sad, because I would really like this to be. Let's write one. Messages definitely work, right? So we can go ahead and take this out. Yeah. And the predictions, they will come from, let's just try and print the test data. Just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, it says messages. So the predictions is not part of this variable test data. It is part of probably this one, new predictions. Let's go ahead and print it out. Yeah, so this is 2 different arrays. This is a list in Python, which is, as you can see, made with triangular brackets. So we can basically, the first one is 0, the second one is number 1, and so on. So what we probably could do here is to say, we can run a for loop and say for A, or just for S for spams in then this new predictions. We could probably do that, and we can create a variable outside here, and we can call it count equal to 0, and then we could say something like if S equals, let's say, spam, well then we're gonna say count equal count plus 1, and at the end of the day, down here, we're gonna print out count, and then we can probably get the amount of emails that were marked as spam. So that would be another way to automate these kind of tasks where we can get the results. So I'm just showing you different kind of ways to use Python to, you know, say I want to get the amount of whatever that is predicted. You can also go take it a step further and say like amount of emails, and since we know that new predictions contain the amount of, you know, spam or ham, we can go ahead and add that on in a way, and then you can count it. I think the function is called len or something. It's been a while since I did this in Python. It is not called len. Probably called something different. We can just check it. Maybe we should try the function called count. Again, no Python expert here, so no, not working. So what could it be? I think the len function is actually the one to use. So let's see. Definitely is the function to use. So we're gonna go ahead and type len one more time. Just take that out and just run it in the wild. So okay, this is the one. And we can just type print and see the amount of emails. 36. Not sure what. Oh, I made a plus something. Let's just see if I did it correctly. We can probably say comma, I guess, in Python. So yeah, we can see amount of emails, and then we have a count, and even further we could go ahead and divide it up and say the amount and do statistics on it and so forth. So basically just gonna tell you that there are many ways we can use Python, and in this particular way we can, you know, count the amount of emails, and we can do different kind of other statistics on it, so we can basically say to management, hey, we got this many emails last week or this month, and so many in spam and so on. Okay, so before I fail even more in Python, I'm just gonna say it's been a while since I typed Python a lot, but I probably did some concatenation error. Maybe it's not plus, you can use directly in print. I don't know. It's been a while. Anyways, I hope you like this video. And tomorrow's gonna be the 16th, and we're gonna do some more machine learning. I think it is. So just say until then, we will.